1956, there was a expedition done by the Mountain Institute, Darjeeling, Siachen expedition. I was also a member of that. That was partly as an advanced training course for us. But my job, besides being a member to climb that peak, we also had to do the geological mapping, because that is the normal system whenever we go with any expedition team. So along that track, we make a map of what are the geological formations so that it helps us in overall systematic mapping, which is the normal job of the Geological Survey of India. Next year, we were given the job of traversing from Leh to Manali. In a way, the same. It was a mule track, but we were supposed to study the geology for the road which was planned to be constructed. So road alignment. Actually, 1958 is described by the international community as International Geophysical Year. And each country, which had its own geological surveys, were asked to carry out specific jobs. Some went to Antarctica, some went to Arctic. Indian government, or on behalf of the Indian government, the Geological Survey of India took the responsibility that we will carry out the survey of some selected glaciers all over the Himalayas. So the Kashmir Himalayas, the Kumaon Himalayas, Sikkim Himalayas. And in the Kashmir Himalayas, I got the opportunity to survey the Ladakh 5 glaciers: Siachen Glacier, Memestong Glacier, Aktash, Kichuk, and Chowkumdan Glacier. That's how I landed there. 56, 57, I did the geological mapping, but 58, it was specifically only glacial survey. No, the conceptualization was given because the program was taken almost 6 months earlier. We have a program committee in Geological Survey of India where it was discussed. So I was given the option. I said, these are the glaciers. On that basis, we stood with other people who are experienced, made an estimate how much money we will require, and we made a special budget for it. If I remember well, it was 17,000 rupees. And the special sanction was conveyed by the Ministry of, I think it was those days, Ministry of Mines. So that's how the programs are always done at headquarters. But then normal field station program for Geological Survey of India is November to May for other parts of India. But for the Himalayas, it is the other way around. It is June to September. You see, primarily the survey we used to do those days. Nowadays, it's different. I mean, in the later part of my career, when we did the glacial survey, we did the mass balance, water balance, heat balance. But in those earlier stages, we did simple mapping of the glacial front, snout. And with some fixed, what we call the survey stations and photo stations, which could be used later for comparison to see what the glacier was advancing or retreating. In these 5 glaciers also, we did the same thing. We made a large-scale map of the snout. For doing that, we had to fix service station. Now, survey stations, you know what it means. You have to start from some known Survey of India marker to get your latitudes, longitudes, as well as altitudes. Then using that as a base, you created your own service triangle, did the large-scale mapping, showed the position with respect to us, and also took the photographs. We were 2 of us. One of my colleagues, he is no more, P.C. Mehrotra. Were 2 of us. I was the leader. And we got a special permission to hire some Sherpa porters, about I think 5 Sherpa porters, plus local labor. At Siachen, we spent almost 2.5 months, but primarily we were camping at the base. We covered up to 4-5 kilometers up the base. But after doing the work, our survey used to come back to the base. But because there is no track, so we had to literally go like goats up and down. But we stayed at the base. Nobody was there, not even the locals. We were the only people around. Yes, we saw ibex, we saw snow leopard, yes, but not any humans, no humans. You see, so far as Siachen Glacier is concerned, we made a large-scale map of the snout, in which we showed the specific position of the front vis-a-vis some of the glacial streams which feed into it. Because that is a marker fixation. Because earlier Visas had made a map, or Daniels had made a map, we wanted to compare it with that to see how much it has gone. So that is a normal trend. But in addition, we also survey the entire area, as I told you, in this case up to 4 to 5 kilometers, to see what are the feeder glaciers, how are they behaving, and if required, we could make a map of them also. Because it has to be an in-depth map. And this is how we did in those days the glacial studies. Nowadays, the whole system has changed. Nowadays, we do mass balance, heat balance, water balance. But those days, we only used to do the glacial sound measurement. And after we completed the work, we come back to headquarters, submit a report, which are, for whatever the reason, are always treated as classified.